Jack Shaw was born in Preston, the second son of Margaret and Ernest Shaw's 7 children. His father died when Jack was still quite young, but even in those early years the interest he still has in horses was firmly implanted. He at present owns 4, which are housed in stables adjoining his terraced home. They're part of the family. Once every 2 or 3 weeks, Jack will harness his stallion for a 3-mile trot along the Blackpool Road to Old Hall Farm, Lear, on the De Horton estate. There he will purchase the necessary hay and straw for his animals.
Jack is no stranger to farm life. As a child, holidays and weekends were spent on farms, and at the age of 14 he left school to work on one. Without even a twopenny bus fare in his pocket, he walked the 3 miles to Broughton for his first official assignment. For this he was paid just 5 shillings per week, plus his keep. The next 8 years Jack did a variety of jobs, all connected with horses of course, and then in 1942 4 years in the army interrupted things. When he returned home, he picked up the threads and was once more involved with his favourite animals. Next, in 1947, his own business. Assisted by a horse and cart, he started a fish and fruit round. This continued for 4 years, until Jack acquired a milk round in 1952. It's now 1982, and so his story continues.
It was 5:45 a.m. one foggy April morning when I joined Jack and Brenda at the beginning of a day's work. For over 30 years this has been the routine, with Brenda taking part in the past 17 of those years.
My first call, of course, has to be the dairy, where we spend about 10 minutes loading up in the region of 800 pints, plus cream, yoghurt, eggs, orange juice, etc., which we deliver every day.
I asked Jack if his father had been a milkman.
Yes, he started in Preston in 1913, but he died in 1929 when I was only 8 years old. He died on the round actually, somewhere near Moor Park. But even before then I used to take milk out. I had my own little round which I did at night after I came home from school. We had what we called a dandy, a little hand-drawn milk truck, which we used to take to Starchhouse Square bus station, and a farmer put a can of milk on the bus at Hutton. They brought it in and the conductor lifted it out for us and put it in this dandy. We took that home and put about half of it in the shop, and the rest we had to take out and deliver.
I've learnt that delivering milk isn't just putting milk bottles on doorsteps. There's many a special request, such as to cover them up, to stop the early bird from stealing the cream. At this point, Jack's wife Elsie joins him to assist with part of the round. Jack, do you prefer using the mare to one of your stallions?
Well, for this job I do, though I prefer a stallion for driving. with more fire, more courage, more presence. The difference is like driving your family saloon and then getting into an MG.
Yes, even the driver has to be patient when he finds Jack's cart taking up most of the narrow street.
I bought Brenda's a 5-year-old off of Mr. James of the Trevice stud in Newcastle Emlyn. I bought her unseen on the phone. She was a bit difficult to break in because at 5-year-old she'd had her own way too long, and she didn't like submitting to discipline. But once I did get her to see things my way, she's never looked back. She's the very best I've ever had or anybody else ever had. I just wish I had her again at 5-year-old, but nobody could be so lucky. You only get one like her in a lifetime.
Brenda collects her share of titbits during the morning, and others think they're entitled to them too. How do you compare your horse and cart, actually it's a lorry, isn't it, with a modern milk float?
Oh, there is no comparison. I paid £200 for that mare 17 years ago. And in between doing the milk round, she's bred me 3 foals. I could have gone through 5 or 6 vans costing several thousand apiece in that time. I don't have any mechanical problems. I'm always sure of a start in the morning, and I'm always sure to get my work done and get back home.
Preston is in the throes of a redevelopment programme. Not the most scenic of spots, perhaps, to stop for a cuppa, but what does it really matter?
Now, a lot of people think these wheels are off vintage cars, but actually they're not. They were made by Dunlop's 4-horse-drawn vehicles. Now, this is what we call tacking. We always try to do this going up hills to reduce the gradient, but we are restricted a bit here with cars parked on each side. That reminds me of a little incident once in Wellfield Road. When my daughter was a little schoolgirl, she was leading the horse up and I was walking behind, and she was going up in a straight line, and I shouted to her, "Wind him up, Margaret," meaning to wind from side to side. She just turned round and said, "Where's the handle?"
Have you ever shown Brenda?
No, I haven't shown her, but she was shown in Wales before I bought her. She was 3rd at the Royal Wells, 2nd at Tybyside and 1st at Cardigan. But you know, I keep horses to work and earn their living. I think keeping a horse just for showing is like being married to a beauty queen that can't cook. It'd be all very nice looking at her across breakfast table, but I think I'd get fed up of toast.
It's a bright sunny day today, but we really had such a bad winter. How did you manage then?
Well, we put frost nails in. They're a kind of chisel-ended nail, and we take 2 ordinary nails out and put 2 of these in. Brenda would go anywhere with these. She'd climb Mount Everest if I wanted her to. When conditions are bad, she never panics. I just let her pick her own way, and she never falters. She'll go anywhere. She's the master of every situation. We were able to keep going through that bad weather when other dairymen couldn't turn out. In fact, we've been back at the dairy finished when other dairymen were coming in with tractors and trailers to make a start.
Are there any other such milk rounds in the area?
No other horse-drawn milk rounds. In fact, there aren't any other working horses in Preston at all.
Now, 10 o'clock, Jack. Is this the end of the day's work?
Well, not really, no. If horses to feed and water and bed down, and eggs to pack ready for tomorrow, a bit of bookkeeping to do. Then horses to feed and water and bed down again tonight.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, it looks as if Elsie is only just starting. Brenda appears to be shaking her head. I wonder what she's trying to say.
You back, Brenda. You back. Come on. You back. You back. Turn around. Well, that's it. A wonderful horse, a good pal. I just wish we were both a bit younger and starting all over again.
Just 3 days after this film was taken, Jack and Elsie retired. The milk round was sold and motorised, and sadly, 6 months later, Brenda had to be put to sleep, a victim of old age.